Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Last of Us review. This will be for season one, the entirety of it. So this will be the full Should You Bother episode. And the season just ended, and I really, really like the show. It's not perfect, but it's the best video game show I've ever seen, and it was super well done. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a score. I'm gonna give it an A. It's not gonna quite get the S because the show had a really weird issue with pacing at times. They spent a lot of time on certain things and then like no time on other things. There's a lot of episodes where we moved at mock pace, and I think that's only because they didn't know how the show was going to do and they put it all in one season. I think had they known how successful the show was going to be, they probably could have spaced it over 2 seasons. And I'd imagine the next game, Last of Us Part 2, will get spread over 2 seasons because the biggest example was the last episode. They sped through it. They did it well, but they gave us no time to breathe. They were on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, and it was kind of jarring at times how quickly they moved. But then other episodes where I really liked the Left Behind episode, but that episode was very drawn out. Every moment was like savored. They kind of took their time to do everything, but other moments they pedal to the metal. So that's the big reason why I think this isn't quite an S tier show, but it's still an A tier show. I still really, really enjoyed it, and you should definitely watch it. This is kind of the end of my spoiler free section here. So if you haven't watched it and you think you want to watch it, go ahead and click out and go watch the show because it's definitely worth the watch. Now, going in the spoilers here, what separates Last of Us from like the best shows of all time, in my opinion, is the fact I don't think they went in this as a long plan. I think when they made the show, it was absolutely this is it with the potential to do more. So they wanted to make a self-condensed story, and the way they paced the episodes and how they broke them up did not work the best in my opinion. There's a lot of time skips. You get that in the game, but there's a lot of character moments between Ellie and Joel during the combat and the traversal that they skipped most of that. So while it did everything as well as it could have been, being 9 episodes, I think that's where the big flaw of the show is. I think is the fact they only gave us 9 episodes. The last episode, they went basically giraffe, hospital, rampage, done. Like the last episode, they moved so fast. I really liked it, but like I was expecting an hour and a half, like emotional roller coaster, and we're getting through this, we're getting through it fast. They did everything the way I wanted them to do it, but they just didn't give us a moment to think about it. They just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and they changed little bits and little there. Again, show's still great. I still love the show, but the pace was so weird. Like the episode with Riley and Ellie, I loved that episode, but we didn't need an hour of that. That could have been done in 30 minutes and been done just as well. And we could have got more moments with Ellie and Joel towards the last thing. Like, it's just what they chose to spend their time on was very interesting. Like, all the first episodes were an hour and 20 minutes. Like, the shortest was an hour. But we got some episodes here that were like 50 minutes, and they were some of the bigger parts of the game, which is just confusing to me. I don't understand why they did it that way. I mean, just knowing how HBO typically formats shows, they're normally always 10 episodes, and they're all just about an hour. But we got 9 episodes, and we got some shorter episodes in there. It's just they cut a lot of the in between, which is fine, but they didn't give the big moments time to marinate, in my opinion, which I think is something they'll get a lot better at going forward because they know what they've done. I don't think this would have been the plan if they knew the show would be a hit like it was. But again, A is respectable. S tier is kind of reserved for that like 9.5, 10 area. If like on a 1 to 10, this would probably be a 9, 9.25, somewhere in that area. Show was very, very good. It was excellent, but it wasn't quite in that tier of all-time great yet for me. So A is very good, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So be sure to subscribe if you're interested in more different TV shows and reviews. I'm definitely going to do The Mandalorian, and I'll probably do... I don't know. The shows are kind of weird. I have to be into a show. I can't force myself to watch something just to talk about it. So we'll see what shows we do. The Mandalorian's definitely getting one when that's over, though. So stick around, and I'll see you in the next one.